Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. It's the playoffs again, and we're doing Brentford FC. We're doing Brentford arguably up to the Premier League. They are probably the favourites. They're what I'd be calling the favourites anyway. The link is in the chat if anyone wants to come on and discuss Brentford. If you want to discuss a bit of Brentford, and they are a nice team to talk about actually. They're unusual. They're very unique in how they go about things. Big up to Chris in the chat as well. But yeah, Brentford are a very strange team. The way they do things is very odd compared to almost every traditional team that is. And I like talking about Brentford because, I mean, Thomas Frank is to be brutally honest with you, a very good manager. He is excellent at what he does, in my opinion. And Brentford are a good team. Yes, they're the team that everyone expects to be going up very soon. Their infrastructure is very good. Everything that they're doing. Brentford, for me, are an extremely good club. As Matt says here, best run in club in the Championship. In terms of what they do and how they go about things, there are levels to their game. They are on a different level compared to any other team. Because, and let's talk about their structure to start with. Their structure is basically, we're going to go buy some undervalued players. Brentford do this thing where they don't have a youth academy. They don't have a youth academy. They have basically an A team and a B team, and they play development friendlies or stuff like that. They're not in they don't have that youth academy of the youth coming through. But what they do is when they're scouting for players, when they're looking for players, they use statistical analysts. They're very data driven. It's a very data driven club, and you don't see that too often. We've started seeing it with the Premier League, obviously data analytics and all of that, but down in the EFL it's very nuanced. It's a very new thing to have at the club. My club has had it for about 2 years now, where we've been looking at statistical data as well as having our youth academy. We're in a different situation down in Plymouth because of where we are, the catchment of players that we can bring down to Argyle. In Brentford, they're in London. So if you think what sort of players can they realistically get in London for their youth academy? If you think they're fighting with Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, QPR, Charlton, there's a lot of teams, Leyton Orient, there's a lot of teams that these players can go to. So it's harder to identify and get the players in. It's much more difficult to do that. So how they do things is remarkable. It is remarkable about how they do it and how well they're run. They're run better than a lot of other clubs. As Matt said, best run club in the Championship, without a shadow. And there's no doubt in my eyes. Brentford have run, just they're superbly run. You think of the players that they brought in. Ivan Toney, right? They had Ollie Watkins. What they do is, and by no means are they a big selling club, but they can do. They had Barama. They had Ollie Watkins, both of them in the Premier League now. One at West Ham, one at Villa. They got good money for Watkins as well, very good money. So it's the thing is you have to think about what they're doing, and think about the teams that have come up now. Brentford, and we'll get into this, they don't play like a Leeds. I keep hearing this thing, they're a Leeds. They're not a Leeds. They're not. By no way, shape or form are they anywhere near Leeds. That's for sure. Matt saying, if they go up, could see them doing what Wolves did first seasons, going between 7th and 11th. Potentially. They would be the team that they're very good. I don't know how many of you watched the Spurs game when Brentford played Spurs in the EFL Cup. That was a very good performance from Brentford, and in fact, that wasn't even them at their best. They could have been much better than what they did. But no, they would. I would think they would finish fairly high in the league if they were to be promoted. I actually think a lot of top teams will struggle against them as well. And we'll get into all of that in a sec. Alas, with a question mark. Big up to yourself, mate. Not sure what you're confused about. If you're confused, just put the question in and I'll answer it for you. Afternoon, Niall. Afternoon, Liam. How are we doing, mate? How are we doing? The link is in the chat if anyone does want to come on and discuss Brentford, because they're very, very good. And let's look at their formation to start with. They do a 4-3-3, right? They have tried others, not being as successful as this 4-3-3 with one DM. So they have a DM. They have 3 attackers, one normally through the middle, 2 sort of inverted wingers / inside forwards. They play very, very possession based. So they're patient. They don't rush things. They don't force things, mainly because they haven't got a strong 9, right? So they haven't got a Mitrovic or a Chris Wood type player where they are strong enough to hold off a couple of centre-backs, and a couple of centre-backs to them is afternoon dinner. Like for Chris Wood, a centre-back is like, that's afternoon tea for him. He makes nothing of it. He finds it very, very easy. Brentford don't have that type of player, and nor would they want to, because it wouldn't really suit Brentford. Ivan Toney is a class act, very good player, and he offers a lot. Now, the possession based, the fact that they dictate the tempo, because they do dictate tempo. Let's cut the bullshit. They dictate the tempo very well in their games. And their emphasis isn't on vertical passing. So they're not one of these teams that the minute they get the ball, they look to move it forward. They are patient. They will take their time. They won't rush it. As I say, they won't rush it. They won't lose possession easily. That is something that Thomas Frank is very keen on not doing. He doesn't like losing possession. He doesn't like quick turnovers in terms of it coming back to haunt him. In terms of defensively, are they ready? Are they in place? He likes it to be very calm, very structured. He's a very structured manager, and that's how Brentford played. Brentford very structured in how they do things, but it's worked very well for them. And with Ivan Toney, someone who, and again, I have to emphasize, this is where Brentford do it well. Ivan Toney was in League One with Peterborough. And then, because of the statistical data, because of the stuff that Brentford looked at, they knew that he would be able to do it in the Prem. In the Championship, I mean. That's what they look for. They look for players that fit their philosophy. It also means that they're very unlikely to come across a flop because they study them and because they use the data in a way to help them move forward and help them bring the right players in. Brentford very rarely get a flop. It doesn't tend to happen often. They don't have that flop. It also means that because they look for undervalued players, that you'll very rarely see Brentford go splashing the cash on 3 or 4 players. You just won't see that happen. I mean, they did bring in Janssen from who was it? Where did they get Janssen from? Oh, Leeds. They got Janssen from Leeds. A very good player, a very, very top player. And the thing with Brentford is they're a very good team. They're a classy team as well. And what they do is they frustrate teams. They frustrate teams all day, right? It annoys a lot of sort of teams how they play, because it is difficult. It's difficult to play against. It really is difficult. We've got Kenny in the back. So Kenny is going to join us. Also, I tried copying how they normally do it at the big clubs where they have like the advertising at the back. So I went on and got Brentford's sponsors on. Ivan Toney is utter class. He is class. He is class. Brentford sell quality and replace them with quality. They do. Brentford very rarely get a bad egg. That's for sure. But Kenny, what's your thoughts on Brentford?
First of all, hello to everyone in the comments, and that I'll try to come on to every championship meet the playoffs. And on Brentford, I think they are a very good side, but at points I think they sometimes struggle to finish chances. Like, I think when they face Swansea, that's one of the prime examples. You know, they faced Swansea, not in the first game, in the second game when Hurahan scored the equaliser. I think that gives the prime example where they struggled really to finish the job off and struggle to get that second goal, and that's what cost them the 3 points in the end. So that is something that will need fixing, because Brentford that can finish a lot of chance that can finish. That's clinical. At Brentford, that's clinical with that many players. It's probably, I say it's really, really close to Bournemouth in terms of the level of the squad that Brentford have. Because I think it's close to Bournemouth in terms of the level of the squad, and the edges Swansea in terms of the level of the squad. And
I think it's because they've got the quality in the right places. It's because if you look at their striker, Ivan Toney will get you goals, right? He'll just go get you plenty of goals. And they got POTUS Janssen, I think is how you say his name. The one they got from Leeds. And he's just a quality centre-back. So the thing with them is they get quality and they bring in the quality. It's very much like Chris said. Brentford will sell quality and replace them with quality. This is true. Big up to RJ in the comments as well. Velvetron saying Ivan Toney overrated.
He only broke the championship record, mate. Go back to cooking biryani.
Velv, if you'd like to come on and explain why you think that Ivan Toney is overrated, I would love to know. Janssen is shit now. He isn't. He may not be rated by everyone. Look, he's not everyone's cup of tea. He's not shit though. By any means is he shit. Like, I think Leeds. I don't think Leeds made a mistake because there was a lot of shit that went on. But Janssen is a top centre back that, you know, is one of them. Chris saying this is coming from Velv, who thinks Kabak is well class. I've got some interesting news on Kabak. I won't reveal the news that I've found on Kabak. But all I will say is at 3 p.m, tune in for transfer news, because I've got some United news. I've got some Liverpool, 2 Liverpool bits of news that I'm sure all their fans are going to be absolutely thrilled with. I can almost feel the enjoyment that you're going to have. But yeah, I've got some interesting news on that. So 3 p.m. transfer talk. Make sure you're joining us because I've got some interesting news, and it's involving a centre back for Liverpool, a goalkeeper for Liverpool, and United. They've got a midfielder who contract is a bit iffy at the moment. So that's all I'm going to say. So make sure you tune in at 3 p.m. for that. Maybe top championship, not world class. I didn't say that Janssen was world class. Oh, if you're on about Kabak, he's not top championship. Get fucked. That's ridiculous. RJ, man, you were shit. Your attack got pocketed by Williams.
League. I think they're sixth, aren't they?
Fifth. No, yeah, they are sixth. They could go fifth if they win today. If Brentford gets to a Prem, they need a new centre back. They don't. No, because of how Thomas Frank sets up, and because of how he goes around, it works. Valve saying Kabak ain't staying in it. I'm making no comment until transfer talk at 3 p.m. Not Kabak. Oh, that's just rude. We are fifth because West Ham did not win. Cool. Oh. But back to Brentford. That's what we're here to talk about. Gotta love internet issues. More internet issues than you care to imagine. But let's keep going. Let's talk Brentford because God knows what's going on. We are fifth because right. Yeah, I've done that one. So Brentford, they don't have an emphasis on vertical passing due to a lack of physicality up front. So because of that lack of physicality up front, they don't tend to try and force the issue going forward. They're very possession based. They control. They dictate the tempo. All of these really help them in the championship, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's a massive reason why they are where they are, why they are in 2 seasons running, why they are battling for automatic promotion. Their tactics are quite perfect for the championship in a way, and they do have that quality to implement those tactics very, very well. I think that is why they are third in the league with 87 points. Which actually 87 points, I think, is one of the most that's had in any third place side. I think something like that. Because I think I've read that 80 points, which is what Swansea got, is the normal amount for a second place side. So 87 points. So really, really unlucky that Watford were so good. But yeah, they have really good tactics, which is why they are doing so well right now. And I think in at least 3 seasons, they probably will get automatically promoted in the top 2.
Yeah, no, they would have, and no, it's been an awfully tough championship season. You look at I think the issue that Brentford have suffered is because Watford have maintained their strength, which they normally do anyway, and because Norwich kept Todd Cantwell and Max Aarons and many other players, and they kept their manager. They were very, very strong. And it was if these teams were built to come back down and to go straight back up, it was almost as if it was built. And because I think that was the plan, not that I think that was the plan, but I think that was, look, we need a backup just in case we do go down. That I think they were planning for. I don't think Bournemouth planned to go down, which is why we've seen Bournemouth in a bit more of a tricky situation out of the 3 of them. But yeah, we've got that. RJ saying Kabak walks into your team. He does. Oh, I've seen the Kabak news. I love Klopp. I'm not sure me and you have read the same news.
1-0 Villa.
Max saying, "No, are you good?" I'm all good, mate. I am all good. What about yourself? Niall, if it weren't for Janssen, Brentford would have been in the Premier last season. What? But I mean, what? Because he made a mistake? Like, are you serious?
He said doesn't say that he is really good. And how many mistakes did he make last season?
I mean, I could talk through United's mistakes, and now we'll just call them shit, shall we? Like, no, RJ, come on, you're better than that, RJ. You are better than that. We are signing Kanate instead of Kabak. You need both, right? You've now got all three of your centre backs at your club are injury prone now. Like,
and also Van Dijk, it might not be the same player after this.
That's what I mean. Van Dijk and Gomez are now injury prone. Matip is literally injury prone. You've got more injury prone players than I care to imagine. You need both.
Well.
Oh, there you go then. You got four or three or four. Max saying, "I'm good, mate. Cheers. I'll come on if you want." Yeah. So I don't know why it's saying it's unstable, because my internet is absolutely fine. Fuck Virgin. But yeah, Max, if you do want to come on, feel free to jump on. The link is in the chat. It'll be right at the top because I posted it right at the start.
What last minute goal?
Yeah, we've all made mistakes in the past, RJ. Right? We've all made mistakes in the past where goals have led to errors and all of that. Like, I won't hear that.
They didn't even score in the last minute.
Ridiculous.
I think Brentford scored in the last minute and not Fulham.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is that it was Janssen's fault that goal even happened, which is simply just not true. It's, look, Janssen. We've all made mistakes. We've all made mistakes in terms of what we've done in terms of playing. It's the way it is.
Explain more about why Janssen's bad apart from this.
Yeah, I mean, RJ, if you want to come on and explain, I mean, I've had to deal. I've heard your arguments before with certain players, so it shouldn't take me too long. So we'll see about that. RJ saying take what you can get. That's a bit rude, isn't it? A bit rude, RJ. Loan Reece Williams and sell Matip for Phillips.
Right, these internet issues. Virgin Media do not seem like the right internet for you. I don't understand why you'd sell Matip though if you're only banking on.
Yeah, I'm still frozen.
Kanate just another injury prone centre back.
Oh, RJ's here.
Hello.
Right, RJ, can you just take over for 2 seconds whilst I sort out my...
No problem. All right, I'll put you out so we can talk. All right, so Pontus Jansson is shite, right? Look, the thing is, lads, he's so overrated, man. Like, look, I've seen him play, right? And I don't know what play he's literally... You know, there's a lot of players that don't rate him, obviously, and I understand, but at the same time, I just don't see his class. I don't know what he brings to Brentford, if I'm really honest, right? Do you mean? I know, obviously, you know, it's a good move for Brentford, because obviously the best other... You're lagging a bit more, but no, what... Wait, Kenny, can you just give me your opinions on Ivy Tony? You're muted, mate, or something.
Basically, I think Ivan Toney is probably... I think he would be a top-class striker in the Premier League. Not for a Big Six club, for like a mid-table club, you know, like your Arsenals, you know, that.
I get you.
Quite good for them. Yeah, I think Brentford are going to have a massive battle to actually keep him.
Yes, 100%.
Actually, if they don't keep him. They've heard like Brighton might be interested in him because Brighton, of course, that will have a striker.
Yeah.
Villa might want to steal. Villa might want to get into Europe, etc.
I would love to see him go to Villa because imagine the attack lineup of Tony, Watkins, and Grealish up top. I mean that just screams like, oh shit, like
until the comes to us.
Nah, come on.
I
Grealish,
think he's not overrated.
what? He's not overrated. No way, man. The thing about him is, right? I can somewhat say he's more of a finisher. Like I make very bold statements here, but he's more of a finisher type, right? His dribbling is shite, right? We can all agree on that, but his shooting is second to none. We can all agree that by right, him scoring like I think it was 40 goals, was it in this season? Or how many goals did he score?
He scored. I'll check now.
Yeah, cheers. Chris saying Tony proving it in League One Championship. I believe he can do it in the Premier League too. That's the thing. Look at Ollie Watkins. Watkins is the exact same as Tony. He came from Brentford. He smashed in the bloody Championship, and look what he's doing in the Prem. Obviously, he's had his downfalls and all that, but that happens. Do you mean that will always happen?
31 goals and 10 assists.
Say again?
31 goals and 10 assists, 5 and Tony.
Okay, so 41 goal contributions. That in one season, that is incredible. Especially the fact that no one even heard of him last season. He was down in League One last season. Do you mean?
That's also the Championship too.
Exactly. Like I said, I play for Brentford, and mate, Velvet fan, you couldn't even play for my local team in Ireland and score goals, mate. Not a hope. Anyway, but let's say Brentford do get into the Premier League, right? Okay, so let's say they do get in, right? Where do you see them in next? So let's say next season, Norwich, Watford, and Brentford go up. Do they go automatically down, or do they stay up for you? If they keep all their players, maybe bring in one or two. How do you see it?
Well, I've got two scenarios which I also mentioned yesterday. The first one, which I'm more leaning towards a little bit, is that the defense is going to be very leaky and they're going to concede a lot of goals.
Thank you.
Shut that down. The other one is that they're going to end up like Leeds, where they're gonna have some quality. They're gonna score quite a few goals, and they're gonna defend not as poorly as some people would think. But I'm leaning towards the former as of right now, just because I can't really see Brentford doing another Leeds.
Yeah, no, I think you're correct with the first point. I agree. They need a centre back if they want to do well in the Prem. Like I said, I would not trust Pontus Jansson in your defense if you're trying to stay up for the Prem. Not a hope in hell. All right. So sign a centre back in the maybe look if you can take who's someone that they can actually take. Anyway,
Sorry, that was my.
It's that sorted now. It's that sorted.
I think so. I think so. I just literally had to reset my damn thing. Now it's all just very slow.
Well, what we were just talking about was if Brentford if they go up into the Prem, right, with Norwich and Watford, with the season that's going to be next season, do you see them staying up, or do you see them going back down if they don't, let's say they don't bring in anyone. Yeah, if they don't bring anyone in, do they go up or down?
For me, it's a tough one. I actually think they could stay up. I think their model is perfectly set. I look to Spurs and that game against Spurs, and they were excellent, and that wasn't even them at their best. They absolutely have that ability to be world class. They have that ability to play the step up like Wolves did. I think they could definitely do that if they get the right players in, especially if their model how they do things. Did you get through many of the comments? I presume.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I know. Yeah, hold on. Chris said that Greenwood, whoever this guy is, probably Sonny. Let's be real.
I doubt it's Sonny. Me and him on talking terms.
Brentford definitely need to strengthen up. Exact. That's what my point was. And he said about because, like I said, what Kenny said, I agree with him saying that they need to bring someone in the defense to. And I said centre back because I can't. looking at Pontus Jansson, you can't have him in the Premier League because he will get destroyed week in, week out. He will.
No, he won't.
Strikers will be looking at strikers will be.
You've literally had Victor Lindelof all season. I'm sorry, but no.
Nah, strikers will look at. Go on.
If United can get through a season with Victor Lindelof, they can get through
Oh,
a season.
I don't want Victor Lindelof. You're saying that I want him in my team. I want to bring like Varane, Ramos into this team.
Yeah, but I think Jansson will just be okay, especially with how Brentford play and.
No, I know how they play. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, you need to strengthen that centre back line, right? Maybe put him as a sub. I don't know, but you can't.
He's club captain, so it'll probably be the person
donkey alert.
It'll probably be who he's with that gets strengthened, possibly.
I don't know. Sorry about that.
What's Vel saying? Bloody Milamino can look good at Brentford. I mean,
what is obsession with this? Like, seriously, what the?
He did more goals than 17th place Nottingham Forest.
Velv hasn't watched the EFL, bless him. Chris is absolutely ripping Velv there, ripping him. Brentford to win playoffs is what Daniel says. Look, I hear that. I do hear that. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, that my internet sorted. Because I'm actually enjoying these series. It's a new idea that I thought I was thinking. There's not much football going on now. Most teams are slowly dwindling down. So I thought we could meet some of the teams that come up. Obviously, we did Bournemouth last night. They're my favourite team in the Championship, mainly because I love David Brooks. He's such a talent.
Yeah, I like him too.
Brentford are a good team, though. Later on tonight at 9 p.m, me, Charles, and obviously the link will be in the comments as well. Swansea City. We'll take a little look at Swansea. A very interesting team. They may have bottled the shit out of the league, but they're still a top team. Still a top team. And then 3 p.m, transfer talk. Big news coming out of Old Trafford with a potential central midfielder on a contract. Big news coming out of Anfield as well. A centre back that won't be there next season, and the goalkeeper that's staying. So I'm gonna say it as coded as I can, because got to tune in at 3 p.m. to find out what I'm talking about. Velvishwan saying, I do watch Championship and Brentford are an overrated team.
Oh my God, Velvishwan, come on, my guy.
Velv, come on to stream and fight me.
If Ivan Toney, right, has 40 goal contributions, how in the name of God can you call him overrated? 31 goals, 10 assists. That is like Lewandowski record today. Honestly. You saw Lewandowski this season, 40 goals. He broke the record this season. Fair play to him, right? And the thing is, right, and this is what I will say, okay? This is what I will say. If Ivan Toney, right, goes to a good team, and this is what I will say, if he goes to somewhere like Villa or Everton, I personally think he can get 20 goals, 25 goals a season in his very first season.
Look at Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is perfect.
That's my point. And then if he goes to Villa, their attack lineup is sorted for the next 10 years.
I actually think Ivan Toney should go West Ham. Could you imagine Jesse Lingard and Ivan Toney?
I don't think Jesse's not going to West Ham, man. Not a whole.
It depends on what. I covered this today, so there's sort of like the two destinations, isn't there? There's Dortmund that United would love him to go to because it takes money off Sancho deal. But if Jesse's like, no, I don't want to go Germany, I want to stay in England and all of that, then West Ham is most likely the best fit for him. So it's really one of the two, isn't it?
Lingard to Dortmund with Phil Jones and Andres Pereira, I've heard, which I don't think they would.
If you manage to convince Dortmund to take Phil Jones, you've done a blinder there, mate.
Yeah. We did a Leicester. We did a Leicester. We were going to charge him.
That would. I don't care. Literally, that would top buying Bruno. That would top buying fucking Pogba back. It would.
That would top anything you've ever done. 2000.
Yeah, that literally tops anything you've ever done in terms of success. Managing to get rid of Phil Jones in excess for Sancho, that's different levels.
The thing is, we can't sell them in a bundle anymore. Like we got rid of one half of them. Chris Smalling literally left last season.
Yeah, no one would. no one would want to buy them as part of a bundle package.
You have
you have
to.
to try and sell them. You have to try and get rid of them separately, don't you? Velvishman saying, I want Swansea. They deserve it, or Bournemouth, so we can sell our players to them.
Wow, you're
Palace
very
1, Villa 1, Ben.
It's not 2-1 now. It's 2-1 now.
Oh.
Yeah, El Ghazi scored for Villa.
Chris saying, love to see Velv play in League 2, which is physical, will get ripped to shreds.
True.
Chris, I will walk into Man City's team. I can play right back and left back.
Mate, honestly.
Daniel telling Velvishwan to be quiet. Chris is telling him to stop dreaming. Velvishwan saying, I'm a world-class defender and attacker. You can't be both.
In your dreams, maybe?
Ivan Toney is quality.
He is.
FIFA player career.
Come
yes,
on.
Chris. Yes, Chris. Vel saying, I don't play FIFA. I stopped because of foot champs. I don't even know what foot champs is. 2-1 Villa, El Ghazi. Well, I know it's FIFA, but you know. But back to Brentford. Now, the reason that these centre-backs are very key to Brentford, and they are fairly key. They are a bit, they do leak a fair few goals. I've got it written down here. No, they don't actually. They're out of all the playoff teams, they're second in goals conceded.
That's what I'm saying.
42.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're only beaten by Swansea, which has a fantastic defence.
I know. No, trust me. I know. I know this guy.
More goals than Nottingham Forest in 17th, I believe.
Yep, that's true.
What?
No, wait, what?
Bournemouth have more goals than them, so Bournemouth it don't really matter as much because Bournemouth.
Barnsley have the worst for goals conceded. Out of all of them. Max saying, I'm the best right back in my team, so come at me, bitch. Love it.
Funny enough, I actually played right back too. We're all right backs, lads. We're all right backs.
I actually played central midfield. I was more of a Scholesy.
I played striker.
But I played striker, then I moved to right mid, then right back because I literally was like, nah, I want to take some people out completely.
Well, I was a mix, if you could ever get one, of a Scholesy Keane. So I would tackle like Roy Keane and pass like Paul Scholes. That's how I would do it. I loved it. But also the bit I want to get to on their centre backs, they can pass it. They're very good at keeping the ball. Also, they have one left foot and one right-footed centre back. It's perfect because it means that the left-sided centre back is actually able to play with his left foot. It gives you more options for me. But the really interesting bit with Brentford is their set pieces. Because they are so innovative, they come up with some weird ideas, I tell you. They've had everyone on the back post at one point. They just play. They have so many different ideas there. There's such a unique way of doing it that they will break an opposition down. And their set pieces, I think last season they had like 12 set piece goals, which is mad. They're going to love United, by the way, who love to concede from set pieces. So it wouldn't surprise me if Brentford
Thanks for letting everybody know now. That's definitely what we want to hear on the fucking Sunday morning, man.
Yeah, well, I suppose when you're playing against Brentford, it's going to be about 3-3, and they'll just go through set pieces.
We'll smash them, man. Simple.
But they're going to smash you at set pieces as well. Don't concede a corner to them. You're going to die.
We'll try not to. We'll try not to.
That would be my advice. Don't concede any set pieces to them, actually. Matt saying I play mid and fullback, so I'm running tackler. Love to see it. Love to see it. Val saying Max, you'll always be in my back pocket every game. Val trash talks everyone.
Come on.
Come on, Velvet.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hop on, have a chat about Brentford, we're going to be going for about 20 minutes. Finish at 1. I'm trying to make these sort of meet the playoffs last for around about an hour each. It's a 4-part series for the championship. I'm not sure if I'm doing League 1 and League 2 yet. That might be a bit too much. The fact that this series has really hit. Next season I'll do it, but I'll do it for all of them everyone actually has enjoyed talking about it. But the good news for everyone, We will have playoff watch-alongs for all of the playoff finals. So that will be mega. That I am excited for. It will be absolutely brilliant. Velvishwan saying, can he come outside?
Well,
But you come here then if you want to talk, mate. If you have this loads of confidence, come here then, mate, and explain yourself. Come here.
Yes, Velvishwan, explain yourself is what Kenny's saying. Velv also says, RJ, come outside.
wait, we're not even in the same country, bro. What the fuck? Unless you found a way to break COVID rules, like, you ain't here where I am, man. Not a hope.
Anyway, RJ at 1 o'clock has got to go get his potatoes. So I know he's looking forward to that.
Sadly.
Oh, RJ, I found the greatest meme. It's not the greatest meme, but the next time you chat shit in the group chat, I know exactly what I'm putting. I've got.
I always have a comeback on my sleeve. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've got a great GIF.
Yeah, no problem.
All I'm saying is your balls resemble this. That's all I'm gonna say. Vel saying, RJ, I'm already in your house. Ouch.
RJ, shiver me timbers.
Ooh.
We're so scared. I'm quaking in my boots.
There's nothing that scary, to be fair.
United fans are ganging up on Velvishwan at the moment. I do have Liverpool match question as well. Yeah, on a technicality, probably. Brentford reached the final last year. The pain of missing out could give them that boost for players this season. Have to wait and see between them or Bournemouth to win it. And Chris makes a very, very good point. That it is something that United didn't quite use in the semi-final, cast, because normally when you get so close, you have that determination and you will smack anything that's in your path. United had to go through it about 5 times before they managed to do it. But that Brentford could very much be so angry and so pissed off that they just turn into a quality team in the final. And also, they're not going to come up against the Fulham. But the playoffs is such a tricky one. The playoffs are such a tricky one that anyone could go up. Anyone could go up. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on terms of that. But RJ, what do you make instead of slagging off their defense? What do you make of Brentford just generally? Max saying, how long you gonna stream till? We're streaming till 1 p.m. 1 p.m. we'll do this stream for, because that gives me enough time to prep me other show and cook my roast dinner.
I mean, look, I've said what I said about defensively. I think the stats do prove that they're defensively they're horrible.
They're not that horrible, but yes.
I mean, yeah, but when you concede that many goals in the season,
they've conceded 42.
Yeah.
Swansea conceded 39. Barnsley conceded 50. Bournemouth conceded 46.
But we're not talking about the others. We're talking about Brentford right now, aren't we? So
but that I'm just merely pointing out that Brentford haven't conceded as many goals as people like to make out.
No, but still,
17, by the way, I think.
Well, what I will say, right, is that attacking wise, I don't want to insult the players, but they're a one-man attack. Ivan Toney, you just give him the ball, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, the question is, how do you stop it? And I think I know this is kind of crazy.
They've scored the most goals out of anyone in their league.
Because look at Ivan Toney, he's got 31. All right.
Well, yeah, but that's
well, how many goals have they scored? How many?
79 goals.
Well, how many goals have they?
79.
So that's 48. 48, right? Yeah. I mean, look. Does
RJ's in the mud, in the mud. RJ's in the mud. Nah.
That's nearly half, right? That's nearly half of their goals scored by one attacker, right? Now, if they can who they're playing hold up,
Bournemouth.
1 second.
Bournemouth.
They're playing Bournemouth. If Bournemouth can somehow stop the balls going straight to Ivan Toney, I think that's how Brentford will lose, unfortunately.
Do you actually think they can beat Bournemouth? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Bournemouth are a top team, and I do think Bournemouth have a chance. But I do think that Brentford may actually get past Bournemouth. I mean, these two came against each other a couple of weeks ago, and Bournemouth lost 1-0 to Brentford. So Brentford do have that ability, and I'm not even sure if it was Ivan Toney that got the goal that week. What do you make of that? What do you really think Brentford have no chance of getting past Bournemouth?
I mean, I do think they do have a chance. Everything, like you said, has a chance in the EFL playoffs. Like that's what makes them really great. Do you know what I mean? I think in order for them to win, they must give Ivan Toney the ball, and he must have his shooting boots on that game. Right? Simple as that. Bournemouth, look, they're a really good team. I think they've really gone under the radar for a lot of fans this season.
Kenny, I don't think. What are you even trying to show us there, bro?
Oh, 82. Oh man, never mind with that. That was a funny game, to be fair, to watch. Anyway, no, just in general, I think if they can find a way, right? If Bournemouth can find a way to stop the balls going to Ivan Toney, it'll be an easy night for Bournemouth. If they can't, it's going to be a very, very difficult night for them. But those two legs are going to be really rough. They can't sort it out. So
it's going to be a great tie, that's for sure. Chris, it was Brentford first attempt at Championship playoffs last season. This is true. Velvishwan saying RJ 1v1 me on Rocket League.
Send me location. I will meet you.
Daniel says, Velvishwan, you bored? And on this one, I think you have to get 5 friends to like and subscribe, and then he one-on-ones you. Can you tell him people
or pay me money?
To see it.
I don't waste my time. My time is very, very valuable.
Yeah, he spends it either as what did Dom say? Someone said fingering yourself over.
Oh, that was fucking the Scouser. Like, what the fuck does he know?
Oh, that was the Scouse, was it? That was the Scouse. Yeah, that was brutal. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, like, I'm just gonna say this now. Like, you go onto the terrace and you forget us. So, I mean,
it's okay, mate. It's okay. Me and him sorted that out. He got one of the very first Niall Rollikins. That's all I'm gonna say. If I need to, I'm more than happy to. Normally, if you don't get a rollicking, I've just unfollowed you and I don't talk to you anymore. That's what someone else found out quite hard. Yeah, that's just that's if I like you, I'll give you a rollicking. But back to Brentford. Yeah. Ivan Toney, if they don't go up, do you think Ivan Toney might end up leaving Brentford?
I think there's no question. He will. He has to. The talent's there. The talent is there. He reminds me of Ollie Watkins. Villa. I want him to see a Villa.
Well, there's no point because they only play with one striker. I think it makes sense for him.
Oh, right. Yeah, West Ham or Villa. To be fair, Villa would be actually very cool because just their
you don't want him going to Villa because you don't want with someone who's got 31 goals or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do you want him as close to their net as humanly possible?
He can do that. He can do that.
You want him. You want him a team that doesn't have a striker. So
West Ham would actually be the best fit from then.
West Ham would be a good fit if Harry Kane was to leave Spurs. I see Tottenham as a fairly good fit for him.
If he goes to Spurs, his career is over. Right?
No, that's if he goes to Arsenal.
No. Spurs are now in that category because who do they actually have after Kane leaves?
Are you disrespecting Eric Dyer like that? Are you just disrespecting the world's greatest?
Sorry, Eric Dyer. Yeah, seriously, no, fuck no. I'm not going to respect that man. That guy. I'm sorry. He's slower than Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. Jesus, like how slow can you get? Like seriously, and this man played for England. This is your player.
Back to a championship though. Back to a championship.
But you
did have to go, lads. Take care. Come on, Brentford. Hope they go up. Velvishwan is not here. Okay.
Velvishwan really well.
But
anyway, sorry,
brutal. But Barnsley, not Barnsley, Bournemouth, Brentford. Now, Brentford have 37 in terms of goal difference, and they have 42 goals conceded, 79 goals scored.
Yep.
Bournemouth, 27 goal difference, 46 conceded, 73 scored.
Yeah.
Looking at that, it swings Brentford's way.
Partially.
And also the other thing that Bournemouth suffered from, and we spoke at length about this last night, was their inability to handle a low block. Like I literally, RJ, actually, I've got something here to. I'm gonna do a thing here. So, right, this team, right? This isn't just a specific team. You have to try and guess the team. So, the formation, a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. They have a double pivot, one advanced creative midfielder. Out of possession, the deep midfielders close to centre backs. They're a counter-attacking team because they have pace in their forward line. They struggle against a low block. Now, which Premier League team does that sound like?
Can I ask one more question before I answer?
Yes.
Does this team have some kitchen appliances?
If I was to describe them as a Premier League team, then yes, they have at least 1 or 2 kitchen appliances.
I mean, you have the best fridge I've ever seen.
But the thing is, that just sounds like Manchester United in a nutshell, doesn't it?
I mean, actually, to be fair, you kind of summed it up, but no, you do miss some parts. You know, we have one of the best young finishers.
I'm just generalizing it, right? I'm just generalizing.
To be fair, you kind of hit the nail on the coffin. To be fair,
right? That's actually Bournemouth. All of that is written down under Bournemouth.
What the? Jeez.
They played very similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's United. So if Brentford just dropped the back line about 40 yards back, Bournemouth are screwed because it's a low block. But Brentford, they don't rush things. They dictate the play. They're controlled. They're possession-based football. Their emphasis isn't on vertical passing. They'll be patient in terms of breaking a team down. For me, that's the qualities you need, especially in a 2-legged tie. If it was 1-legged, you've got the chance of really shithousing your way through, a bit like Sevilla did to United. But in a 2-leg situation, it's very difficult for you to shithouse your way through that without having the quality needed. Because in a one-off game, you can do it. But in 2 legs, very difficult to. The quality at some point will just sort of seep through, won't it? So, I suppose my question to you, I'm not sure what Kenny's doing. I suppose my question to you is in 2 legs, do you think Brentford have the quality to beat Bournemouth? And if so, looking at the other teams who leak goals more apart from Swansea, but they just do not score.
Yeah.
Do you think that the winner of this game goes on to win the championship? The playoffs?
You could definitely make a case for it. I genuinely think, I can definitely agree that whoever wins this game is, quite frankly, the odds-on favorite to win the playoffs, right? And I do kind of, I did make a prediction, like it's kind of like the Champions League, to be fair. When City and PSG played, I said whoever wins that will probably win the Champions League. Then I changed my mind because Chelsea are playing them in the finals, and we know how Tuchel and Pep, all their records against each other this season. But in general, like I said, I do. I mean, whatever you want to say, But in general, I do think whoever wins will win the playoffs, and we'll see them next season in the Premier League.
Yeah, and for my thoughts, I hope it's Bournemouth. But Kenny,
same here.
As someone who's just been playing videos and tossing yourself off watching Belviswan, what's your thoughts on Brentford? Do you think they'll have the quality to get past Bournemouth? And if so, do you think they'll be going up in the final?
I don't think they have the quality as of right now to get past Bournemouth because the pressure for Brentford is massive. Bournemouth don't have that much pressure because even if they do miss out, they'll just go up next season, won't they? So they
Might not be as easy as that, but they certainly aren't under the pressure that Brentford are. That is correct.
Bournemouth under the least pressure out of every single playoff side. But I don't think Brentford will be able to withstand that pressure. I think they'll get knocked out. But if they do go through, I don't think it's just done and dusted like RJ does. If they do go through, I think Barnsley, of course, have a very good record against Brentford, don't they? Apart from that home loss before Dyke, they beat them last season twice, I believe. And they beat them this season as well. So Barnsley can beat Brentford. They've shown it. Swansea, of course, I showed the result earlier. I believe they beat Brentford at one point in the season. So anyone can go up. Personally, I think Bournemouth will go up. But Brentford, I think, come as second favourites. However, I think second, third, and fourth for me, as for the playoff favourites, are very, very close. While Bournemouth are just clear ahead for me. I think they are going to win the playoffs in style.
I think you are a disgrace. I'm joking. Nearly died there. I was looking at some of the views that my videos have got. Argyle Retain this got 80 views. I'm buzzing about that. Little tricky Argyle get 80 views on just an announcement on the Retain list.
I mean, how did the ISO get over 100? That's what I want to know. To be fair,
Arsenal.
No, the United.
Oh, it didn't. YouTube fucked up. It's on 59 now. They said 105. But
yeah, no, I was like, well.
YouTube's been doing its normal thing, and having a meltdown this week. But before we wrap up and I start prepping things and cooking, Brentford, they're a good team. Ivan Toney, excellent player. We haven't spoken a lot about their manager. What do you make of him? He's a very good manager. He's thoughtful, original, and he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on Thomas Frank?
Kenny, do you want to go first, or will I go first?
Kenny's just sat there staring at a screen.
I think Thomas Frank is a dickhead and he's arrogant. I don't like him. I do not like him at all. That's why I don't want Brentford up. I do not like Thomas Frank. I remember last season they said we I think they said something along the lines that we should do well in the Premier League, and then they got knocked out in the playoff final. Like, I hate Thomas Frank.
They would do well in the Premier League.
They wouldn't do the best, but they do all right.
Let's stay up. They're definitely
just I'd say they'd be like a Newcastle.
Wow, Kenny.
Wait, what did he say?
But he just said that Thomas Frank shagged his wife. Firstly, are you even old enough to have a wife yet?
I mean, I prefer not to speak. I am in.
No, I hear that. Yeah, you are in deep trouble. Really looking forward to Brentford Bottlers this week. I do hear that.
I forgot to hear it. I'll put them in.
Falling apart.
Oh, fuck. RJ, you do it then. You do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Kenny's just saying some bullshit again. But shut up. Kenny, I swear to God, I will relegate United if I have to.
Kenny,
sorted. Kenny's just been put in his place. But Egda, if you are new to Twitch, do give us a follow, not a subscribe. Because please stop singing. Yes, Kenny, please stop singing. You're upsetting the viewers. Hold up, if you, if you can call that singing, that is brilliant.
Shut up,
If you
man.
can call that-
Brentford are falling
Kenny.
Oh, Kennedy, please, for the love of God, right, mate, please.
I have subscribers and followers, and I'd rather not you draw them away. But as I say, back to Brentford quickly. We're joined by Max. Max obviously very excited because 3 of these teams he's going to be playing in the Championship next season. But Max, what's your thoughts on what you think from Brentford? What do you expect to see?
I have about
mate, we can
have been watching them is how they play. They are playing attacking football, which will obviously be a tough opposition to break down for Bournemouth. But I can see them going to the final. I think they will go to the final, but it all depends on how they play, really. I'd love to play Brentford again, but it just depends. But I think they'll bottle it in the final, really, and it'll be Barnsley or something. But it's just it's big for me because obviously we're going to be playing Fulham, and that coming down from the Premier League, so we're going to be playing Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United. But with Sheffield United's performance this season has been absolutely dreadful. But if we're going to talk about someone going up, I think it might. I've actually changed my mind a little bit now about my prediction for the playoffs. I think Bournemouth will get into the final, but I don't know whether they'll bottle it or not. Because I think Brentford will stay down for another season and then go back up. But it all depends on how they play in the first leg. Because if they win the first leg, then they've obviously got the confidence to hold on for the second.
And you make a really good point there in terms of that first leg is crucial. If they can go and get a couple of goals in the first leg, then that's advantage Brentford. If they don't, you're just allowing Bournemouth to get into the game. It's a tough one. Bournemouth are probably the toughest team they could have picked out. But also Bournemouth have picked out the toughest one that they could have got. So it's very difficult. What have we got here? Egda saying, "Stay down in your place, Brentford."
Brentford are falling apart again.
Kenny, can you do me a favour and shut up? You ain't got no sting. Bournemouth gonna batter yous.
The Cherries are gonna take out the sting.
Yes, the Cherries taking out the sting. Sounds like you're just guessing.
The bees have ate the cherries, and the cherries have poisoned the bees. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Specky ain't got a clue. Jesus.
He's not talking about me. He's not talking about me. Let's just say.
It's okay, Max. It's okay, Max. I think he's definitely on about Kenny. Kenny is.
No.
He's chanting Kenny can't start, and then you watch Man United get absolutely battered next season. And they go down.
I've already said that if Bournemouth come up, not Bournemouth, Brentford come up, United and set pieces, that's just going to be a field day for Bournemouth.
No, we'll get Varane will be like, nah.
But a lot of Brentford's goals have come from set pieces. Egda just confirming what I thought, which was I was talking to Kenny. Yes, he was talking about Kenny. But look, and Kenny's gone. But no, look. But for me, Brentford are a top team. They have a lot of threats in a lot of places in terms of, defensively they're fairly solid defensively. There's not many issues. They are. You just have to look at goals that they've conceded all season.
They just have a big donkey in their defence. That's really it.
It's a bit unfair to call him a donkey because if we're calling him a donkey, then God knows what I'm calling Victor Lindelof.
But he's a freezer. There we go. He's a freezer.
I think it's offensive to freezers.
Okay. So he's just an inanimate object. There we go.
But for me, Brentford, they don't concede an awful lot of goals. The league form suggests that they score goals. Ivan Toney is a top talent that if Brentford don't go up, they lose Ivan Toney quite clearly. God knows, I'm not even looking in the private chat. Kenny's on a mad one.
Kenny, shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, see, Kenny, you're annoying everyone now. But yeah, Hector saying, I know it's going to be a Bournemouth-Swansea final. That's not beyond the realms of possibility. That could easily happen. That easily could happen. Bournemouth are a top team. Swansea sort of bottled the league, but they still have that quality to get past Barnsley, I think.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Do we all agree that Swansea have that it could be a Bournemouth-Swansea final, or do you think we're sleeping a little bit too much on Brentford?
I think you're sleeping on Barnsley too much.
No, really not.
Nah,
Well,
I like I said, you did say that it's very unpredictable, right? That anything can happen.
RJ, the reason I just want to quickly sort of pick up on a comment. The reason we haven't spoken about Barnsley is because that streams on Monday. Because we're looking at all the teams individually, right? So last night we looked at Bournemouth. This morning we're looking at Brentford. Tonight at 9 p.m. we'll be looking at Swansea with Charles. The link will be in the chat as well. And then on Monday we'll be taking a little look at Barnsley. So we're not sleeping on Barnsley, not at all. Also, Swansea have got a really good player. They got a former Argyle player, Conor Hourhan. Or Hourhan.
Hourhan, yeah. He's Irish forward. Yeah.
Yes. Former Argyle player. They've also got a former Exeter player in Matty Grimes as well. Yes. So Exeter and Exeter and Argyle sort of linking up together at Swansea, which we don't like to see at all. We don't want any Welsh clubs in the Prem, though. I wouldn't say that to Charles tonight because she might go on a bit of a mad one. So let's go Bournemouth, as boring as they are. Anyway, Cherries will be straight back down. Woodgate has definitely got a challenge on him to keep him in the Premier League, that's for sure. If it was Eddie Howe is a top manager who could have kept them up. Can Woodgate do that? I'm yet to be convinced, but it certainly would be tough.
I personally,
but the last
they did actually go up. Sorry, no.
No, carry on, RJ.
No, I think like if they do go up, at least they don't have like a bloody rat named Ryan Fraser in their team. Thank God he's gone out of that squad. What a absolute! And I'm not going to curse on the stream because obviously Kenny and Max are clearly children, but what an absolute rat! Oh my God! Literally, when they got relegated, right? Like literally, fucking Ryan Fraser was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to sign for Chelsea and all that crack." You know what I mean? And not going to play the last 4 games. Turns out he literally went to Newcastle. Like it serves him right. Send him back down to fucking League 2 where he deserves. Do you mean? And he's not even that good. Like he was overrated. Like, but at least now they got rid of the trash. I do think obviously they're going to miss like Ake and Wilson. Those 2 players really were big players for them. But yeah, other than that, at least they got rid of that rat face, man. Honestly,
I also suppose with David Brooks and all of these other players that they've got, they've still got the talent in there. The last question, we've now covered Bournemouth, we've now covered Brentford. I think that's the first leg of the playoff sorted. That's the first 2 teams I think playing. They do play first as well. We fucking love to see it. We absolutely love to see it. Yeah. So I've covered the first teams for the playoffs. As I said, tonight we've got Swansea, and then on Monday morning, probably around 12ish, we'll take a little look at Barnsley. Hector saying, never trust a Scot.
Well, I mean,
Ferguson again, lads.
Shut up, Kenny. Look, I do hear that. But we'll obviously, as I said, Swansea, Barnsley, and next 2, and the last 2 we'll be covering ready for the playoffs on Monday. I'm not sure when League 1 have got their playoffs. They've got theirs on Tuesday. We may have the opportunity to cover them, but it may be very it may be very difficult to do it. But we'll see. Potentially, we could have a little look at them potentially. I might just look at them all together in one stream. That might be how I do League 1 and 2. But the last question, we've covered Bournemouth, we've covered Brentford. Out of those two, which team are going to Wembley? RJ, you start us off. Which team's off on their way to Wembley?
We're gonna see a certain fruit come back to the Prem, and they start with a C. It's definitely gonna be the Cherries. They're going straight back to the Premier League.
Oh, I was only asking which one are going to Wembley, but I hear that. I do hear that.
Wembley,
Max,
Wembley's.
what about you? Who do you think's going to Wembley?
Whatever they'll be. They're still going to be the Cherries, and they're off to Wembley again.
Yeah,
I hear that. I do hear that. And Kenny,
Brooks will get a goal. I can tell you that now.
I hear that. I hope David.
Either the
Brooks gets
semis
many
or the
goals.
final. Okay.
I hope David Brooks gets many goals. Kenny, what about you though? Who's going to Wembley?
I think Bournemouth will, because Brentford are falling apart again.
Oh, stop! Please, for the
Kenny, United are falling apart. They only scored.
To be fair, we actually are. To be fair,
Pretty much
The fact
United
that-
only score from own goals or from set pieces.
Or penalties.
I can't find that anymore. To be fair.
And I'm going to go Brentford because I just think far too many people are sleeping on Brentford here. They are. I hear what Max is saying. Kenny hasn't got a clue. And RJ, I think you're just sleeping. Kenny, your team is literally falling apart. Without Harry Maguire, your team looks like in a whole different opposition.
Yeah,
completely.
still good up in the league. City are getting a point.
You signed Harry Maguire for £80 million.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
and
No, I
that's
was gonna ask you, Max. How does it feel raising up a bloody 80 million player as well? Plus, he also raised up bloody Andy Robson as well. How does it feel that Harry Maguire came from bloody Hull?
Well, he went to Leicester. I didn't really care at that point. The thing was that the only thing I care about now is freaking Asamoah Lam. He said he'd sell us. He still hasn't gone yet, and he let our best players from last season go for like 20 mil each. Bit
of a joker,
really
innit?
Now look, we
this is for you. Brentford are falling apart.
Kenny.
Brentford are falling apart again.
Kenny.
Brentford.
How does it feel? How does it? Oh, he's
I kicked him. Sorry, I kicked him.
He couldn't comprehend it.
Sorry, Kenny, but I kicked him.
It was hurting my ears. Hector was egging him on. Kenny, I'm starting to like your version, mate. Give us some more. Yes. But I'm going to go for Brentford. I think people are sleeping a little bit too much on them. Kenny's back, which we love to see.
So the only thing is, I think Barnsley are going to have to try really hard now because they obviously haven't been in the Premier League for a while. I think they'll get through and win the final. But
never been in it, to be fair. I don't think.
It just depends on how they play, really. Because the first leg, if you win the first leg by 2 or 3 goals, then that's just advantage you, really. It depends who gets the away goals, I think. Unless they don't do that in this competition.
They do
count. They do count. Yeah.
They do. I didn't think away goals counted in the FL.
If the away goals count,
because John remember last season.
Away goals do not count.
No, John remember not last season when Frank Lampard was manager of Derby. He literally bet that
was Leeds beat them 1-0. Then he beat Leeds 4-2. It wasn't about away goals.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, I swear it was Villa. He played Villa.
Like that. I'm almost certain we don't have away goals in the playoffs. I'm almost certain. I think
who knows?
I think it's just
2-1 with Aston Villa.
It's extra time and penalties because our goal when we played Pompey at Home Park, we went to Fratton Park 0-0. Home Park after 90 minutes still bloody 0-0. Neither team could break each other down. It was really good defensively. And then 92nd minute,
what do I know? Like every time Hull have been in the playoffs, we've gone straight through. We haven't had extra time or penalties. We haven't got time for that. We're like, see you later.
Neither of us. We've either got knocked out, or
you've just not got in there in the first place.
Or just gone straight through to a final and then got knocked out in the final. That's normally the Argyle way. There's never been away goals in the playoffs, thank God. Yes, I didn't think there was. Hector saying, I mean, thank fuck. Yes. Hector, who do you support anyway? Which team is your team? Interested to know. Kenny is. Oh my God. So much bullshit in that.
Oh,
Liverpool.
Edgar says you'll never walk alone. Oh, hello.
Oh, he's a Liverpool fan.
They're playing West Brom
He's
today.
a Geordie, lads. He's a Geordie. I'm telling you.
Can I just say,
6
if Liverpool beat
times
West Brom,
champion.
they go 1 point behind Chelsea with the game in hand.
I mean,
No, this is their game. This is their
no.
game in hand.
This is their game in hand.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
No. If they somehow get top 4, it is.
But Leicester and Chelsea play each other on Tuesday, so big
Yeah.
game.
So if Liverpool, they have West Brom, Burnley, and then Palace. So if they beat West Brom and then Palace, or West Brom Burnley, or Burnley Palace,
Basically, I'll put it this way: if Liverpool win all 3 of their remaining games, they're in the top 4, and Chelsea or Leicester will slip out
tonight.
Imagine Leicester slip out again, man. It would be jokes. But
if Liverpool win twice and then Chelsea lose at least once, then that because we're 4 points behind right now.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a big boost for them. So it's all in their hands, really. If they win, but Chelsea win, then their game against Leicester, then
at that rate, then Chelsea should focus on the Champions League for really honest, because let's be real, they're going to play the exact same way they played against Leicester. I swear to God, they ain't winning shite.
No, look, they need to beat Leicester. That's for sure. They have to beat Leicester. The only teams you can
still get top 4 are Arsenal, Everton, Tottenham, West Ham.
Right, Kenny, you are chatting some shit. We all know it's either West Ham. All right, fuck them mathematically. United fans love mathematically because it makes you look less shit. Edgar saying 2 times champions of the world. Thank you, Man United, for giving us a prayer, and big up to Wolf in the chat as well. But look, we're gonna wrap it up there because I've got a roast dinner to cook and I've got to prep an interesting transfer talk at 3 p.m. Very interesting. Big news coming out of Anfield with centre backs and a goalkeeper. And big news coming out of United with a central midfielder that hasn't yet signed a contract.
They need that.
And we'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing which player hasn't signed a contract yet and what is the stumbling blocks. RJ most likely knows what I'm on about. But a big thanks to everyone that has been watching. Go check out our socials at Twitter. Let's Talk EPL, on Instagram at Let's Talk EPL _ and on Twitter, TikTok, at Let's Talk Premier League. But RJ, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere by Jack on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and whatever else you can find me on. To be fair, I'm pretty all over the place. I'll be also on Charlotte Strong TV at 5 p.m. We're doing the wrestling show. It'll be a bit of crack, to be fair, if you're interested in that. And like I said on Twitter, less than 100 subscribers off hitting 10,000 subs. So can't wait for that. Thank you so much for having me now.
No worries, and thank you for coming on. And Max isn't there at the moment, but Kenny, where can they find you? And don't sing.
I don't please sing, for the love of God.
Thanks for reminding me. This is no, I'm joking. You can find me on the top of the league at the end of the season once you get a point deduction because Pep is bald.
At the top of the league, that's in your dreams, mate. I think.
Yeah,
that's in your dreams, bro.
But at Pogba is class because that's just the truth. And Kenny TV on YouTube.
I hear that. And Max, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on YouTube. I've just remembered I have a Twitter account out of everything. So you can find me MaxTagHD on YouTube and Twitter. MaxTagHD on TikTok as well. And MaxTagHD official on Instagram. I'll be on Cam Westy and Forever Football DRC streams when it gets to Euros. And I'll also be on the giveaway stream. So you can enter the giveaway on Cam Westy's channel if you want to.
I hear that.
I'm not forcing you to. But you can win a mug. You can win a mug and everything else. So and a free fiver. You can win a free fiver.
I look forward to that. On Twitter, I entered a competition where I got a monthly a month's worth of alcohol. I didn't win it. I was very upset. I wanted that month's worth of alcohol. That would have been absolutely fucking lovely.
Liverpool get top 4. That's an alcohol pie right there.
We've got a few Liverpool fans that I hope to see on their match reaction.
We have
later.
a few Liverpool fans who are very, very fans of alcohol. Tom.
Fans of alcohol. I mean,
Well,
they
do
did.
you remember the Liverpool show where he's just like, "Let's go, let's go"? Literally every time he got it right. All right, never mind.
Yeah, he was a little drunk. He was indeed a little drunk. Is one way to put it. But big summer coming up ahead. Me and Saul's just got a plan the day where we're releasing our 26-man squad for the Euros. I actually need to write my 26-man squad. I need to have a little think about that. And then we've got, what else have we got coming up? So yeah, we got that. Then the Euros, we're going to have the weekly review show rebranded to the Euros weekly review show. We've got an England show every Friday night during the Euros, talking all things England. And then we're going to have a weekly... no, we may have weekly Welsh and Scottish shows if I find enough Welsh and Scottish people. Currently one for each. And we'll have watch-alongs for all of the home nations in the tournament. Most importantly, we'll have England, though. Good old England. Looking forward to seeing that. I need to start prepping the intro videos to all of that now. So that is busy for me. So that's all coming up. Argyle's end of season review is coming up next Saturday. I'll be doing that one where I basically just slam the players and give them their ratings. I put it this way, not many of them have got above a 5. That's to put that politely. But as always, we'll end out with the new intro to this 4-part series. We'll be back later on with Charles, and the link will be in the chat for anyone that wants to come on, talking all things Swansea later tonight at 9 p.m. So that will be an interesting one. But until then, thanks for watching and take care, guys.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.